morning everybody. Firstly, I just want to say I'm so sorry the class is late. I had an absolute nightmare yesterday with technology, and then I had to go to a conference call for my other job, so all in all it was a bit of a nightmare. So I really appreciate you waiting until today for the class. So I've done the class outside again because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's not too hot yet, but I think it's going to be really hot today. So I'll just start off with a warm up down on the mat. So just think about where your feet are on the mat. Make sure feet, knees and hips are nicely in line, that your knees aren't going out to the side or coming into the centre. And then just have a quick run through of the body. Think about how your pelvis feels down on that mat. Just draw a little circle with your pelvis each way. So just try and get a nice even feel through both sides of that pelvis. You might find that you tilt slightly in one direction, and then you can do like a little figure of eight, anything just to get that pelvis nicely connected down onto that mat. And then just think about your rib cage. So you don't want your rib cage flaring up towards the sky or the ceiling. That'll take that back into an unnatural position. So just think about the ribs coming nice and wide. So almost think about them coming out sideways instead of out upwards. And then just think about the shoulders. Remember, you don't want them creeping up. You want them walked down the mat a little bit, so you've got that nice stable base to work from. And then we'll just think a little bit about the length of that neck. So just gently bringing the chin down towards the chest, and then gently tilting in the other direction. So remember, you're not lifting the head to bring the chin, you're just lengthening through the back of the neck. So you'll feel the length of the neck increase as you do that one. And then you just do that a few more times, and then just come to rest just somewhere that's nice and comfortable for you. So think about the crown coming off in one direction and the tailbone coming off in the other direction, so you're nice and long through that body. Okay, and then we'll just start to find that neutral pelvis. So just gently bringing the hips up towards your head, gently off down towards your feet. As you're doing this, try and make sure that the hips stay nice and level sideways, so you're not lifting a hip. Put your fingers on your hip bones and just try and feel that they're staying nice and level as you move through that neutral pelvis position. It's really easy to tend to go off to one side, but we don't want to do that because that'll start strengthening you in asymmetric position. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving through that position, thinking about the hip bones staying nice and level. And then I want you to imagine your hip bones are being pulled up by a piece of string. So you're going to peel the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, making sure you don't cheat by taking the legs out to the side or too far in. So again, try and keep that nice alignment. And then inhale at the top. As you exhale, try and replace that spine one vertebra at a time. Again, try and keep these hips level so you don't feel as if you're dropping hip. If it helps, keep your fingers on the hip bones. And again, you're going to start rolling that pelvis. Piece of string, bringing those hip bones up. Inhale at the top. Make sure you're keeping those legs in a nice alignment with your hips, and slowly replace that spine. We're going to do one more of just your basic shoulder bridge, just to get that spine moving. And again, inhale, make sure the feet are flat on the floor. Exhale and replace. Good. Okay, so this time I'm going to put a little bit of a sequence in. So you're going to come up into your shoulder bridge, so you're peeling that spine. Inhale, Exhale to replace the spine. As you get to the bottom, you're going to peel the spine in the other direction. You're going to come up into a sit-up position, just your small Pilates sit-up. And then you're going to come back down and the spine's going to lift. So we're doing lifting both directions, that spine, and again, back down and gently lift. Inhale, exhale, and start lifting. And again, slowly replace that spine. Once the bottom of the spine is on the mat, up into your sit-up position. Okay, we're going to do one more of those. So lifting that spine from the bottom. This time we're going to take it into your 100. So you're going to lift, come up into your tabletop, and we're going to do your breath counting. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're pumping with the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pumping with the arms. Breathe. Okay, so we're halfway through. We're going to take the legs straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bring the knees in. Give the back a little bit of a roll around. So hopefully that's just got you warmed up a little bit. It's actually getting quite hot out here now. Okay. So again, we're going to just look at that stability through your pelvis. So just have a little feel on your hips. Make sure you haven't got one hip lifted either up towards the body or up towards the ceiling. You're lifting your hip up towards your ribs. You're going to be putting your pelvis in a tilted position. So you obviously don't want to be doing that. And if you're lifting a hip up to the ceiling, you're going to be putting your pelvis in a rotated position. So you don't want to be doing that either. You want to be working in a nice basic form, which is good for building us in a nice symmetrical way. We don't want to be making any asymmetries. Okay, so you're going to take one leg straight, and then you're going to take your opposite leg into a raised straight position. Again, really focus. If you want to, you can have your hands on your hips. So we're going to come into your single leg circle. So if you prefer, you can have your opposite leg bent, especially if you find that your hips are starting to lift. So try and imagine you've got something heavy on the centre of the body. So you've got your core nicely switched on to about 30%. So nice and slowly with your circles. Really focus on what's happening through that body, that hip. Don't let your opposite hip lift. So if you're on your right leg, don't let your left hip lift. If you're on your left leg, don't let your right hip lift. Finish that circle and off into the opposite direction. So nice even circle, try and time it with the breathing. Okay, 4 more. Keep the size and the speed the same. 2 more. Finish off your last one and bring that knee up towards the chest. Nice stretch away. Good. Okay, so we'll repeat that on the other leg. So as I mentioned, if you want to keep your leg bent, obviously if you're working with the opposite leg bent, that's going to reduce your circle size. So you don't want to be trying to sweep your leg across the body if that leg's bent, or your hip is going to lift. So As I say, that will reduce that circle size. Obviously, if your leg is straight, you can circle that leg right round across that body. So really try and focus on the breath. Focus on something heavy on the centre of the body, keeping that core nice and switched on, keeping the centre nice and stable. Okay, and time with the breathing. So really try and keep a nice even shape. It doesn't matter if your circle's small like that. I want you to just try and keep nice consistency to the size and the speed and the shape. Okay, one more in that direction and swap directions. Have a little check on your hips, make sure they're not starting to lift. Imagine that heavy block on the centre of the body. Remember, you don't want to be doming your abs or your ribs up towards the ceiling. Okay, we're going to do 5 more. Breathe. 3 more. Make sure the hips aren't lifting. Now we're getting towards the end. 2, 1. Finish that one. Bring those knees up towards the chest. Okay, so just take the legs straight, take the arms up over the head, just out into that nice full body stretch. Just take a couple of breaths, and then one at a time bring the knees up back into your rest position, feet together, and you're just going to drop the knees out to the side and just give a nice stretch off to those inner thighs. So just taking some breaths. Just see if you can just increase that stretch a little bit. Try not to switch on through your glute muscles, so it's just the inner thighs that you're feeling this in. You can bring the feet a little closer to your body if you can, and then bring the legs back into centre. Just take the hips, so the knees out to the side of the body. As you do this, take the arms into a T shape just to make sure that those shoulders don't start to lift. Take the head in the other direction, so as your legs go over to the left, you can take your head to the right, vice versa. As your legs go to the right, head to the left. So obviously your hip is going to lift in this one, but you don't want those shoulders starting to lift, or we'll just end up not stretching anything. We'll do one more to the other side. Keep that breath going. And just hold that stretch for a couple of seconds. And then back into the centre. Okay, so we will come now into your dead bugs exercise. So I'm going to bring one leg at a time up into your tabletop position. You're going to take your arms up towards the ceiling. So try and think about the angle through your legs. So if your legs are coming too far up towards your body like that, you're going to be tipping out of your neutral position. If they're coming down too far towards the mat, your back's going to be arching and it's going to be hurting. So try and think as much as you can of a right angle behind the knee, right angle between hip and the body, the thigh and the body. And again, you can take your just take your fingers onto your hips, just have a little check whether you feel like you're in neutral. If your hip bones feel like they're tilting back, just readjust yourself. Make sure the shoulders are staying stable, and you can either come into your level 1, which is arm back and leg staying bent and just coming down towards that mat. So try and keep the same angle as much as you can behind that knee. Remember, I know this one's a bit of a brain teaser, but you've got one arm and one leg completely still in between that movement. So when it's not this exercise, it's one arm, one leg, the other one stays completely still. Okay, so you've got that one as your level 1 exercise. You're coming on to your level 2. You're going to take leg straight, arm straight, and then back up. So again, imagine you've got that heavy object on the centre of that body. Breathe. So inhale, back up, exhale out. Inhale, exhale as the limbs go out. Good. I'm going to do 4 more, so 2 more on each side. 3, 4, and bring those knees towards the chest. Little circle with the knees. Good. Okay. So we'll just finish off with one more exercise on our back. So we're going to start off with a little sit-up position. So you're just lifting your shoulders just kind of up to the bottom of your shoulder blades. It doesn't need to be a massive sort of hoiking yourself up. And then we're going to start with one leg up here. So you want a little bit of a stretch through the hamstring. Don't jam your leg into a real straight position, fairly soft through the knee. And then we're going to come into your scissors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do 10 of these, 7, and then we're going to come into your single leg stretch. So bend and straighten. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Legs straight and into your scissors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And single leg stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Legs, knees up towards the chest. Final stretch on your back. And we'll just come over now into your cat position. So just give the back a nice stretch. So just bringing that spine up towards the ceiling, gently down towards the mat. So lifting that back up, gently dropping the tummy down, gently taking the head back. So as you're doing your cat, really think about the angle through your hips. So you'll feel that changing. You'll feel the angle opening and closing as you move through that movement. Oh, it's getting a bit warm out here now. And then we'll just push back into your child pose. So you can either keep your hands in front of you, stretch the arms out, or you can come more into a ball. You can take your hands and just flat grasp your feet. Okay. So hopefully you've all managed to have a little rest and a drink. So we'll come down onto our front now. And we'll think about lengthening through that spine this time. So if you just take your arms into your diamond position, really think about your crown and your tailbone, feeling as if they're just pulling in opposite directions. So feel as if your tailbone's just coming down towards the end of the mat, crown's just coming up towards the top of the mat. Tummy button tucked away from that mat. Make sure that you also think about your pelvis being in a neutral position when you're on your front. So again, same as on your back, if you tilt your tailbone, sorry, your hips down towards your feet, you're going to feel that in your back. That's going to put a bit of an arch in your back. And if you tilt too far up towards the head, that's going to be really uncomfortable as well. So try and think about staying in a neutral position when you're on your front as well, and that'll help you keep your position. So think about the nose, drawing a line down the mat, just gently lifting through the body, and then just push up. Tummy button tucked back, so you should feel a nice stretch along the front of the body with this one. Don't allow that back to arch down towards the mat. And then gently lower. And again, think about that crown pushing away from the tailbone, tummy button tucked, lengthen as you push, so you feel that through the front of the body. And again, we just do one more of those to finish off. So crown coming away from the tailbone, tummy button tucked, just start to slowly peel, push up through the hands, and just go as far as you're comfortable. Find that you're feeling it in the lower back, just have a little check on your position, and also just reduce the range of movement a little bit. Good. Okay. So we're going to take your hands out now into your right angle. Just have a little check on your feet, make sure they're not starting to push or lift. If you find your feet are lifting, you can just allow your heels just to fall out to the side. So your toes are sort of coming together, and it just takes the attention onto those feet staying down onto that mat. So we're going to start by, again, becoming nice and long through that spine. So imagine you're drawing a line with your nose. You're going to come up. So keeping your hands on the floor for now. And then really lengthen through that spine. So you're going to stay long through the spine. And then we're just going to reach away with those feet and just lift the legs gently. And then gently lower. And again, we do it in 2 stages to start with. So draw that line with your nose, hands planted down into the ground, pushing up nice and long through the spine, and lifting those legs. So make sure you're not tipping your head back. Remember, your head is an extension of that spine. And lower, lengthen as you lower. And again, hands planted down into the floor, draw a line with that nose, pushing down into the mat, tummy button tucked away, so switching on through the core, and lifting through those legs. So you should feel those glute muscles working now. As you come down, think about tailbone and head going off in opposite directions. And we'll do one more of those. So draw a line with that nose, hand planted down, lift, tummy button tucked away, lifting through those legs. Remember, the head's an extension of that spine, so it shouldn't be pushed back. Lengthen as you lower. Good. Okay. So we're going to keep our hands in the same position. This time the arms are going to be lifting as well. So we're going to just work on the muscles on the upper back a little bit and those shoulders. So again, if it helps, let your heels fall out to the side, and then draw that line with the nose. So think about your body now, not rolling from side to side through this exercise. So head pushing in one direction, tailbone in the other direction. We're just going to slowly extend one arm, and then staying long through the spine, we're going to slowly lift and reach away with the opposite leg. Drop down the leg, bring the arm back, And same thing, so reaching away with the arm, lifting with the opposite leg, back to the centre and down again, and again, lengthen through that spine, tummy button tucked away, draw your line with your nose, and then one arm, straighten, opposite leg, lifts. Keep that head as an extension of that spine, remember. Back to starting position. Again, keep that tummy button tucked. Back into start position, lengthen, lower. So you might find that it's a little bit hard work on those shoulders, especially if you're a little bit tight through your upper trapezius area. So again, we're going to come up, extend one arm, leg floating away in the other direction, head's an extension of the spine. Back into the centre, and same thing. So keep that head as an extension of the spine. Back to start position, and we're just going to push back into your child's pose. Just, oh, I've got a little imposter on the mat, a little spider. And then into your child's pose, give that back a nice stretch. Okay, so if you just come into your cross-legged position, and we'll just do a little bit more work on that upper back. Let's get a drink. So it's quite common, especially if people sit at a desk, it's quite common to be quite weak through the upper part of the shoulders, because we tend to have our shoulders rounded, be looking down, so those muscles tend to become quite stretched. These muscles tend to become quite tight. So I'll just show you an exercise that just help just strengthen up those muscles, and also can help really well with your posture. Obviously, if your shoulders are slumping forward, it's going to have a bit of an effect on your posture, and it's going to put quite a lot of stress and strain on your lower back. So having nice stability and strength through those shoulders really helps with your posture and your overall back health. So we're going to start now with the trick with this one. Keep your elbows against your sides. Okay, so depending on your shoulder health, you might be able to do this one really easily, or if you've got something going on your shoulders, which I have, you might find it quite difficult, but try not to cheat with it. So elbows stay against the side, palms up towards the ceiling. Think about that posture, so head's coming up towards the ceiling, you're not pushing your back out. Going to inhale. As you exhale, don't let those elbows creep away from the side. You're just going to take those arms outwards. So you might feel this, as I say, if you're a little bit compromised through the shoulder area, and then you're going to come slowly back in. And again, inhale. As you exhale, keep those shoulders and elbows in, sorry. And back in. Okay, this time you're going to inhale, exhale, take them out. You're going to keep the shoulders where they are. You're just going to push the arms out into a straight position without lifting your shoulders. Ooh, excuse me, itchy goose. And then keep those shoulders dropped down. You're going to bring the elbows back in towards the body, and then back to your start position again. And you can do this if you've got a TheraBand at home. You can do it with a TheraBand. So obviously just secure it with your thumbs. So you've got the thumbs on top. You just imagine you've got your TheraBand there now. So keep those elbows in, don't let them cheat. If you cheat, you find you can take your arms right back, easy peasy. But if your elbows are staying where they are, you might find that restricts your movement a little bit. Okay, and this time we're going to do your extension. Think about that head coming up towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders where they are. Extend those arms. Elbows back in. And one more. Exhale. Take those arms out. Back to your start position. Good. Okay, so just give your shoulders a little bit of a roll around. Just loosen them up a little bit. We're just going to stay in your seated position for a second. So just take your legs out into your straight position, and we're just going to walk your hands just down towards your foot. Just give that back a stretch off. You might find that this one's a little bit painful if you've got tight hamstrings, so just go easy. If you want to use it as a little bit of a hamstring stretch, you can just hold your toes and just bring them towards the body. Just work within your own body. Don't grab them and yank them towards you if it's painful. Just gently hold and breathe through that stretch. And release. Back up to your nice seated position. Inhale, exhale, just walk the fingers down again. If you want to use it as a little hamstring stretch, you can. Just gently bringing those hands up towards, feet up towards the body. But work within your own bodies. Don't, if you can only get kind of this far, just work with what you've got rather than pushing yourself and hurting yourself and injuring yourself. Breathe through that stretch. If you want to, you can increase it a little bit more. Good. And back up to your start position. Super. Okay, right then. We'll come down onto your side now. Just take your arm underneath your head, or if you've got your cushion, just put your cushion there. Try not to kind of crumple your arm up and bring your head up if you can help it. If you're uncomfortable with your arm out, have your arm in front of you and then have something underneath your head that's going to keep your head in that nice alignment. If you're bringing your head up and crumpling yourself up, you're not in the correct alignment. Just have a look down, make sure you can see your feet in front of you, so you're in a very slight banana shape. You don't want your legs pushed behind you, or you'll end up kind of wobbling from side to side quite a bit. Okay, so you can start with your arm in front of you. You can have your arm along the top of the body, or if you prefer, you can have your arm up towards the ceiling. So we're going to start now with your single leg circle. So we've done this on your back. Obviously, doing it on your side, you're going to have to make your circle a little bit smaller, or else you're going to be kind of rolling all over the place. So if you need to, have your arm there rather than rolling backwards and forwards. And we're going to just start with a small circle. You can take your hand, I quite like to just have the hand there so you can really feel what's going on with your hip. You'll be able to feel if you're creating too much movement. So nice small circle, try and keep it the same size, keep that leg nice and long. Remember, if you're starting to roll, try and keep your hand down in front of you. I'm not there to shout at you, so I'll have to trust you. Think about that tummy button staying tucked back, about 30% effort. Okay, and last one in that direction. Okay, make sure you're stable, and then we're going to come into your backward circle, or well, depending on what you started with. Good. Again, if you want to put your hand on your hip, you can. Just give yourself a little bit of feedback. Good. I'm going to do 2 more of those. Good. And just bring that leg up, give it a little bit of a stretch. So as I say, in that exercise, your circles would be a lot smaller because it's really hard to kind of keep yourself in that stable sideways position if you're doing a massive circle with your legs. Okay, so we're going to come into your clam position now. So bring those feet up towards your seat bones. And we're going to come into your Highland clam. So you're going to come into your open clam position. Then we're going to do a tap forward, a tap behind, find your foot again, and back down. So again, try and make sure that you're not wobbling around too much. So as you open, take your leg forward. You don't want to be throwing your weight backwards and forwards. Again, you want to try and keep nice and still through the rest of the body. So you're opening, little tap forward, little tap back, try and find your foot, and back down again. Take the arm up, tummy button tucked back, find your foot, and back down again. So remember, move slowly. So you can use your mat as a little bit of a marker to try and move the same distance each time. So if you think about tapping the front part of your mat and then find just the back part of your mat and then back. So it makes it a little bit more precise, helps with your control. So find the front of the mat, back of the mat, foot. Sometimes it's quite difficult with one leg to make it do what you think you're telling it to do. It's quite good to have a little bit of a marker. I'm going to do 2 more of those. So tuck the tummy button, keep yourself stable. 1, 2, back to the centre. Lost my concentration then, I ended up in a different place. 1, 2, back to the centre. Good. Take those legs into your straight position. Okay, so we're going to make our way over onto our other side, but you're going to come over through your front and just push up into your cat position. Give that back a little bit of a stretch. Oh, a bit of a stick on my mat now. Come back into your start position, tuck those toes underneath and just push back up. That bum's coming up towards the ceiling. Try and think about getting those feet down on the floor if you can. Just hold that position and then walking back down into that cat. Just push back into your child's pose. Good. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our other side now. Oh, quite glad I did this quite early on because I think it's going to get really hot later on. Okay. So come down onto our opposite side. So same thing. Try and think about your positioning in a little bit of a banana shape. I think I'm on a bit of a hill here actually. And again, make sure your head's nicely in line with the body. So if you need to have your cushions, then do. Really important that you try and keep that spine in that nice alignment. Remember, your head and your neck are just an extension of that spine. So we want it following the same line. And then choose your hand position. So either down onto the mat, on top of the body, or up towards the ceiling, whichever you prefer. Or again, you can just keep a little bit of a feel on the hip, and we're going to come into your circle. So circling forwards, My brain's not working to think whether that's clockwise or anti-clockwise. I think that's anti-clockwise. So remember, nice slow circles. Tummy button tucked back, so you're staying nice and still. Think about breathing and think about keeping that circle the same size. Remember to keep those hips nicely stacked over one another. So you can take an in breath for one circle, an out breath for one circle. So it's nice and slow, nice and precise. Good. And then change direction. Nice and long through that leg. Remember, have a little touch on the hip if you need to just check that you're managing to stay still. If not, you'll feel that hip wiggling around or starting to come up towards your rib, so it's quite a good just a little marker with your hand just to check, especially if you've got nobody there to help you. Keep that breath flow. Good, and change now. Changing your direction into your backwards circle. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. I've lost track whether we'd already done that one or not. Completely lost my concentration then, so apologies if you did 2 lots of that. Good, and rest that leg. Just give leg a little bit of a stretch up. Just have a little bit of a massage if you've got a little bit of a burn going on there. And then we'll bring those feet up towards your seat bones into your clam position. Again, choose your arm position, whichever arm position you want to be in. So again, if you want to use your arm as just hands a little bit of a marker, you can. So opening up into your clam position, and then tap forward, tap behind, find the foot, and back down again. So remember, try and use a little bit of a marker. If you've got your mat, use the front of the mat, back of the mat, back, and then down again. So think about that control, that accuracy. So it's nice and slow, so you're not just kind of flinging your leg around aimlessly. Make sure you stay long through that upper part of the body. So keep that concentration, keep that control, make sure that your leg doesn't start going wayward. Two more of those. And last one. Good, well done. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. Okay, so just roll over onto your front. Just bring that foot up towards the bum. Just give your quads a little bit of a stretch, so stretching off through the front of that thigh. Again, work within your own body. Don't force your stretch. you might find you can hold the stretch and then just slightly increase it. Breathe. It should be slightly uncomfortable but not absolute excruciating agony. And then we'll swap onto your other foot. Again, just find that stretch. Gently hold and breathe. And release. And then we'll just roll over onto our backs. Just give those hip flexors and those glutes a stretch. So keep one leg nice and straight, nice and stretched away. The legs coming up towards the chest. And then the knee that's towards the chest, just take that, cross it over your other leg and bring that leg up towards the ceiling. So you can incorporate hamstring stretch in this if you want. So just bring those toes towards the body. So getting a double stretch here, you've got your hamstring and then you've got your glute stretch. And again, just hold and breathe through that stretch. And bring the one leg down, release your cross leg, take that into a straight position. Stretching away with your straight leg, bring that knee towards the body. Just breathe through that stretch. Really stretch away with your straight leg. Take that leg into your cross position and then bring that leg up into your straight position and come into your hamstring stretch. If you want to, bring that foot towards the body. Just breathe through that stretch. Good. And just take both legs straight, both arms up over the head. Just a nice full body stretch. Just allow the shoulders just to become nice and wide. And then just take some breaths. Okay, just take the arms, just hug them around yourself. You can just stretch off that upper back now. Have a little roll from side to side if you want to. Just give that upper back a little bit of a massage. And then swap the order of your arms. And then same thing. A little bit of a roll. Good. And then just gently roll over onto our fronts again. Just finish off, just pinning that back into a nice bit of flexion. Just through that cat stretch. And just come back into your neutral position. Toes tucked under. And we're just going to push up into your downward dog. And then walk those hands towards your feet, just coming up through that roll up. So I might disappear off shot here. Good. Okay, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you enjoyed me doing it in the great outdoors again. Hopefully I won't get sunstroke. So we'll see you all next week. And again, big apologies about yesterday. Really sorry about that, but it was just a complete and absolute nightmare. So have a good week, everybody, and I'll see you all soon.